So I want to talk about our first kind of formal interactive scripting. Let me get a share screen going here. So we're going to write a very simple script that rotates a cube when a mouse button is pressed. Um, Used to be Unity had JavaScript, that's gone. Now we only have C#, which is fine with me. So we can create a new script. We can do this down here, create a C# script. This will make a new behavior script, uh, and the new behavior script uh, uh, it automatically gets these usings. Uh, it has the same name as whatever you specified here. If you change the name, you have to go in and change the name here as well. It's a mono behavior, and it automatically comes with a start and an update function already built in. They're empty, but they're already there. So if I create a script, a script and call it rotate, and uh, capitalization matters. The fact that it's capital ROTATE is important as opposed to lowercase ROTATE. So pay attention to capitalization. These scripts that I've written for you are all here in this underscore scripts directory. I like to put underscores in front of my folder names because it floats them to the top, so everything else is down below here and I don't see it. So here are my various scripts. Rotate one, which is a very simple script. In the update function, we have one command, which is the transform.rotate, and then three arguments, a 0, a 5 times time delta time, and a 0. And again, capitalization matters. It's capital ROTATE. This is not because of the name of the script. This is the transform command rotate. And rotate rotates by a certain number of degrees about the x, y, and z axes. Time delta time is the time that the last frame took. And so multiplying 5 times the time of the last frame means that our object is going to rotate at 5 degrees per second. If I just had a 5 in there, it would rotate 5 degrees per frame, but by scaling it by the time of the last frame, I get a more uniform rate of time. So I have this script on one of the cubes here. I've added rotate one script to the cube, and it has no arguments, no exposed variables. And so if I play this, my cube is going to rotate at 5 degrees per second. And it will do this forever. This update function is happening once per frame. And so this is happening over and over and over, rotating by a small amount each frame. So I can make it rotate faster by changing the time, changing the rate here. And I'm going to, in this next version, add an interaction. I'm going to use one of the input functions, get button, and the button I'm going to get is the fire1 button. It's in quotations. It's a string. And what is going to happen if the fire1 button is pressed is that it will rotate now 10 degrees per second. The fire1 button, I'll show you that in a second here. The fire1 button, let me get in the scene. So now I have another cube over here, the green cube. It has the rotate 2 script on it. And let's look in the project settings under Input Manager. And here's my Fire 1. There are a bunch of different buttons. We've seen horizontal and vertical. These are the things that we've used in various controllers. But the Fire 1 button is the mouse button 0, which is the left mouse, and it's also the left control. So I have 2 avenues for controlling this green cube. I can press the mouse, the left mouse, in which case it rotates, or I can press the left control, in which case it rotates. You can't see my hands, but that's what I'm doing. So either of these 2 avenues are the Fire 1 button. Another thing to be aware of is the Unity's documentation that's built in here, which we access through the Help menu. I'll look at the scripting reference, and I'm going to type the word transform here, and it will now go and look up all of the references to transform. This is kind of the basic class that shows all of the different properties, things like the Euler angles, the position, the parent, all of these properties of the transform. And it also shows the methods. So somewhere down here is the rotate method that I'm using. And here's the description of the rotate method. And I believe it also includes a sample of some code that shows how to use the rotate function. And it tells you all the details of that, including the fact that you can have the rotation relative to the self or relative to the world. So it shows you examples of how to use any of the different tools that are built into Unity. So let me extend this a little further here. Let me look at version 3 here, where I've now added a red cube. And the red cube has a rotate and translate function. And I don't think I have a text of that, so I'll have to edit it the minute Visual Studio opens. So rotate and translate. Here's what I had in the original one. Fire 1 would rotate by, in this case, 30 degrees. But I'm also going to add a transform translate. And this, in this version of this, I'm going to translate with a vector. And so I'm using the vector 3 up, which is a unit vector in the y direction. And I'm scaling this again by that time delta time and at a ½ meter. So this is going to move up at a ½ meter per second. And I've got another button here, the Fire 2 button, which if I look at the input manager, for Fire 2 is the left alt, or the mouse 1, which is the right mouse. So I now have a kind of controllable little object here. control the little object here in that I can, if I press the left mouse button, it goes up, the green one's rotating. If I press the right mouse button, it goes down and rotates the other way. And so I can control this, and I can do the same thing with the control and the alt key, the control and the alt key. One more kind of simple case here. The last one here, I've added a yellow cube, and the yellow cube has the translate script on it. And the translate script is similar to the others. I have the Fire 1 and Fire 2, the Fire 1 that moves it up, and the Fire 2 that moves it down. But now I have an exposed variable with a speed here that by default is 1, but I can set it to something else here. I can set it to 3, and now when I play this and press the left mouse, it goes up, the right mouse, it goes down. One of the reasons for these defaults is that I can go in here and I can ask it to reset, and it resets it back to whatever value is specified here in the script. So these are kind of the default values that you can fall back to by resetting your script, but exposed variables can be changed in the inspector without having to edit the program and change things and recompile them. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to stop recording and end the lesson, and I'll see you in class. Bye.